Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're ready, because today we're diving into episode 5 of First Time in America, and this one is called The Husband at the Gate. You are not prepared for the drama that's about to unfold. It was a quiet morning outside Harvard University. The sunlight was glinting off Liza's brand new, expensive luxury car. She was living her best life, or so she thought. As she pulled up near the campus gate, she saw something that made her slam on the brakes. At first, Liza thought her eyes were playing tricks on her. It couldn't be real. Maybe it was a dream, a hallucination, or even a ghost from her past. But she blinked, looked again, and there was no mistaking him. Standing right there at the school gate, holding a framed photo of her, was her husband, Chikobi. The man she had left behind in Nigeria. The man she had intentionally ghosted, blocked, and tried to erase from her new American life. The man she never, ever expected to see again on this side of the Atlantic. For a few seconds, she was frozen in pure shock. But Liza's mind was a calculator, always running the numbers, always looking for the next move. In a flash, her brain started processing the situation, not with fear, but with cold, hard strategy. Her initial plan had been to fly back to Nigeria, confront him on her own terms, and force a divorce. But now, he was here, in her new world, and a new, more sinister plan began to form in her mind. She thought to herself, if he's here, this is actually perfect. I don't need to spend money on a flight to Nigeria anymore. I can handle this right here. Her mind raced. I'll manipulate him. I'll take him home with me. Act like I've missed him. Pretend I still love him. Then, once he trusts me, I'll convince him to sign the divorce papers here in America. And if he refuses? If he refuses, I'll make his life so miserable. He'll have no choice but to let me go hoosed. Like that, her entire expression changed. The look of stunned disbelief melted away and was replaced by a mask of ecstatic, fake happiness. It was a performance worthy of an Oscar. She threw the car door open and practically flew out, running towards him with her arms outstretched, like a long-lost lover finally reunited with her soulmate. "Oh, my dear husband," she cried out, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness. "I've missed you so much. I knew you would come for me. You used to know it." She threw herself into his arms, giving him a hug that felt warm and passionate on the surface. But inside, her heart was as cold and hard as a block of ice. Chikobi, bless his heart, was overwhelmed with relief and emotion. He held her hands tightly, his fingers squeezing hers, his eyes searching her face for answers. He had so many questions, a whole ocean of them. "Liza, why?" he asked, his voice full of pain. "Why did you do this to us? Why did you switch off your phone? I called 1,000 times. Why didn't you call your children? They miss their mother. Tell me, what did I do? Did I offend you in some way?" Liza just kept that bright, forced smile plastered on her face. My love, it's not my fault," she cooed, gently pulling him toward her car. "It's a long story. Let's just go home. When we get to my house, I promise I will explain everything to you." She opened the passenger door of the Lamborghini for him, and that was the exact moment Chikobi started to notice that things were very, very wrong. The pieces of the puzzle weren't fitting together. As he slid into the low-slung seat, he looked around at the plush leather, the futuristic dashboard. "Liza, where did you get this car?" he asked, his voice a mixture of awe and suspicion. "Liza, this is a Lamborghini. Who gave you this kind of car?" She started the engine with a practiced flick of her wrist, not even looking at him. "It's mine," she said casually. "Someone gave it to me for free. He also rented my apartment for me. Don't worry, you'll see everything when we get there." Chikobi's heart began to beat faster, but it wasn't from the thrill of seeing his wife again. It was the heavy, thudding beat of dread. When they arrived at the apartment building, it was clear this was a place of wealth. The lobby was grand. The elevators were silent and fast. But when Liza opened the door to her apartment, Chikobi was completely stunned. He just stood there in the doorway, speechless. The place was enormous. The rooms were wide and open, with modern furniture that looked like it belonged in a magazine. The decor was expensive, tasteful, and screamed money. He walked in slowly, looking around in disbelief. How he finally managed to ask. How did you afford all of this? The money I gave you when you left, it wasn't this much. It wasn't even close. Liza casually dropped her designer bag on a marble countertop. She turned around to face him, and the fake smile was gone. In its place was a smirk, a look of someone who was ready to burn every last bridge and dance in the ashes. I told you, she said, her voice now sharp and devoid of any warmth. A man is taking care of me. A white man. His name is Robert, and I've fallen in love with him. The silence in the room was deafening. You could hear Chikobi's heart breaking. But Liza wasn't done. She let the words hang in the air for a moment before delivering the final, devastating blow. And yes, she added, looking him straight in the eye, I've slept with him. Many, many times. In fact, the very first time was on the airplane, on the same day I left Nigeria. Chikobi's jaw literally dropped. He stared at her as if she were a complete stranger. His hands began to tremble uncontrollably. So you committed adultery. And you're telling me this openly. So proudly. Stammered. Liza, I have never cheated on you. Not once. We've only been apart for a few months. And this is what you did. But Liza's confession wasn't an apology. It was a declaration of war, she continued, her voice rising with a cruel confidence. He bought me this car. He paid for this apartment. He gives me more money in a month than you can ever give me in your entire lifetime. I'm not coming back to you, Chikobi. I don't want this marriage anymore. She took a step closer to him. I was actually getting ready to travel back to Nigeria just to divorce you. But now that you're here, it's so much easier, Chikobi. I want a divorce. Tears started to stream down Chikobi's face. He wiped them away with the back of his hand, his whole body shaking with grief and betrayal. He looked at this woman, this cold, calculating stranger who wore his wife's face, and he barely recognized her. After a long, painful silence, he spoke, his voice breaking with every word. No. Liza stared at him, her confident smirk finally faltering. She was shocked. That was the one answer she did not expect. No, Chikobi repeated, a new resolve hardening his voice despite the tears. I will not divorce you. You are still my wife. I don't care if you sleep with all the men in America. I won't leave you. We took a vow. This marriage is for better or for worse. Liza was speechless. Her plan had just hit a brick wall, a very stubborn, very heartbroken brick wall. What is she going to do now? And that, my friends, is where we leave it. Make sure you are subscribed and have your notifications on, because you will not want to miss episode 6. The man she cheated with arrives at the door. It's about to get even crazier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.